desire a growth that I was not prepared for, and it backfired on me. Guys, don't be like me. A friend advised me. I felt overwhelmed with everything, and then the money was not coming in the way I wanted. So I just felt I'm not going to come back the following year, which is 2016. A queen is the daughter of a king. In a nutshell, it was a messed up day, and I see this a lot among young graduates. I see the preparation to work, don't be like me. I learned my lesson in a hard way. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Moment with BB. First, I'd like to say thank you to you all for subscribing to the channel, for liking, for commenting, for sharing. It means a lot to me, and it is giving the channel some visibility that it needed, and I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much, and I truly appreciate you all. However, if you are yet to subscribe to the YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Please take some moments and subscribe to the channel. I will really appreciate it. Let's take the channel to 1,000 subscribers in 1 month. Is that too much? Is it? All right, I trust and I'm counting on you. Okay, so on today's episode of Moment with BB, I'm going to be sharing my story of how I desire a growth that I was not prepared for, and it backfired on me. It's one thing to desire growth, right? Want to improve yourself, want to earn more, and all that. And it is another thing to get prepared, to change your mindset, to work towards what you want to grow in. So my story is one that you can learn something from, and also not make such mistake like I did. So after NYC finished, after I started applying, went for some aptitude tests with banks, some organization like that, and I was getting rejection. I was not making through to the last stage of interview. So I was getting tired. I was wondering what else do I need to do, and I think a friend advised me to try school. Why not try all those private school around and see, maybe you can start from there. And I thought to myself, why not, and I gave it a shot. So one day, I took it upon myself to move from one school to another to drop my resume and my letter. At the end of the day, I got calls from some of the school, and I did interview. Eventually, I went with one Montessori school, okay? And then that was how I started the first job after my NYSC. For those of us that are very familiar with Montessori school, it's a different setting entirely from the normal Orthodox school. The way they teach the children, the way they set up their class is totally different. And before you can function in that environment, you have to be trained. In fact, most of their teachers, they are certified Montessori teachers. All right. If you're not certified, you can't really work as a class teacher. So what I was employed for was an assistant teacher, and I was trained by my class teacher, the person I was supporting. I have to go through a training, like a week training or 2 weeks before the school resumed new session. And in fact, it was very amusing to me, when I was going through the training, the way they do things. You have to carry the materials, the objects you want to show the children. There's a way you have to present yourself to the children. They just come and say, so I want to show you. No, you have to introduce. You have to wow them. You have to make the class interesting to them, before. So all those things, they were so amusing to me, because that's not my space, that's not my world. But because I want to survive, right? I need money. The money that I saved up after NYC, was almost finishing. I don't want to be depending on people, for money, right? So I took the job and I started it, okay? I did the job for about more than 1 year and a term. It's not up to 18 months, right? 1 year and a term. And while I was there, I won't lie to you, I was not enjoying what I was doing. I was just doing it for the money and to just get busy. I was not enjoying it, and I was not putting my mind on it. In fact, I was also applying, right? I was not putting my mind, and I was hoping to get something better very soon. So I think it was 2016, at the end of 2015. So I was telling myself that I'm not going to come back to this school because I don't feel fulfilled working here, even though I have good colleagues, and the environment is good, but it's not my thing, to teach. It's not my thing. So by the end of 2015, I had already made up on my mind that I'm not coming back to that school. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm not coming back. While I was in school, I was supporting very well. I was doing fine. I was also learning, but I was not positioning myself to be a teacher or to do more in that space. I remember I brought one idea because the school is very good, right? And they were not on social media. I was one that brought the idea of why not just open a social media page and put some of the activities, that we do in school and put it out there so that we can get some publicity. She threw it on me that I should undo it. So I requested for a phone and then data, and then I was managing it while I was also working as a class assistant. Assistant teacher. Okay, so I felt overwhelmed with everything, and then the money was not coming in the way I wanted. So I just felt I'm not going to come back the following year, which is 2016. That I'm going to look for another job or something else to do. So 2016 came. I applied for another job. I started applying to another school, even though I don't like teaching. Okay, and I got the job with another school, but this time around is not a Montessori school. It's normal orthodox school, but also very advanced when it comes to technology and all that. They're very advanced. So I bamboozled my way into the interview. Yes, that's why I usually say that interview is not the true test of how a candidate will perform on the job. I was a class assistant where I was coming from. So where I was moving to, it was a class teacher that they needed, and I applied for it, even though I have never taught before and I have not worked in that capacity. But because I have spent 1.5 years in the Montessori school I was coming from, I felt I should be able to do it. I didn't think through what it will require to be a class teacher. So I applied, I got the job. I bamboozled my way to get the job, and I got it. Okay, I did a series of interviews, by the way, and I was chosen. So I was looking forward to being a class teacher, but I was not prepared to be a class teacher. Yes, I was still sustaining the mindset of an assistant class teacher. One thing about this new school is that the way they work, the way they operate, even though you are an experienced class teacher or you have worked in that capacity before, when you get into the school, they will still train you, right? And they will make you to understudy some of their class current class teacher who are currently in the school. They will put you under one of them, or probably rotate you across different classes, just to expose you to their system and how they work. Okay, so it was actually this time that I was supposed to be planning to take the ownership of my new role. Start learning how to be a class teacher, start learning what it takes to be a class teacher, how to write lesson notes, because the way we write lesson notes from Montessori school is different from the way we write notes in the normal orthodox school, right? So I was launching. The way they were moving around from one class to another, instead of me to be preparing myself to take ownership of the next responsibility that I have applied for, I didn't do that. I was just launching, expecting money. I think the money that I was going to be paid was like 20,000 naira different from where I was coming from. So it was a big deal for me. I was like, thank God, I was expectant of the money, and then I was not thinking of what I need to put in place to earn that money, and it backfired. So what happened? So there was a day that one of the teacher that I was understudying called in sick. She was not feeling fine, and voila, Gladysy asked to step in. That was when the bege happened. Remember, I was not prepared. Even though I applied for the job, I was not prepared to be a class teacher. I was not putting myself in the position of a class teacher. I was not. I was lounging. I was still expecting to be told what to do. I was still expecting to be moved around, that kind of thing. I was not taking ownership of my new role. I was not asking the right questions. I was not putting my face into everything that is happening there. What was in my head that I have gotten a new job and I'm going to be earning more. That was what my mind was capturing at that moment. So that day came, and then the teacher called in sick, and I have to step in. That was how the breeze blew, and the foul yash got exposed. Okay, so that morning, I think the first subject was English or so, and then I went into the class, and then I asked the student to settle down. I think the owner of the school knew I was new, and also got to know that the teacher was not in. So he suspected that definitely I would be the one to step in, and he knew that I was new, right? And he was not sure of my capacity to handle a class, as if he knew what was happening in my head. So he planned to come and sit in my class while I was teaching. That was what messed everything up. Imagine you not being prepared for what you want to do, and then your boss, you are in a new environment, and your boss that you're not so familiar with came to come and sit in your class, knowing fully well that you're not prepared. It was a messy day, like a very messy day. So I took over the class, and in my mind, I was like, today is the day. Today is the day. Hey, Missy, you are here for it today. And I knew that I was not ready. I knew that I was going to mess up. I knew that today Yawa go gas, and it happened. So I took over the class. I took the textbook, and there is a way a teacher will embrace that teaching. Will connect with the children. Teaching. I usually tell people that if you are teaching in a school, it's a calling. It's not by skill or competence. It's a calling. Teaching is a calling, and I give it to all the teachers out there. Like, I give it to you guys. You are the real MVP of this world. I give it to you all, because it's a lot of work to enter into that mode and be like a child, to enjoy what you are doing and also connect with those children. It's a lot of work, and I don't have those skills. I was high up there. I couldn't see myself coming to the level of the children. There's a way you want to teach children. You say, hello children, how are you doing? So today we want to learn something new. Who can guess what we want to talk about today? All those things, I don't know how to do it. I know Sabia. I don't know how to do it. So it feels so awkward to start doing that at that moment, because I couldn't bring myself to that level. Honestly, I could not. I was not connecting. I was in my mind. I was like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? What did you find here? That was what was in my head. But I just have to bring myself down to that level that day. It is glaring that it's not my field. It's not my place. I was not ready for that task. So I messed up, and I learned my lesson in a very hard way. So what happened? So the textbook, the English, we're supposed to do English topic, one of the textbook they have, right? So it was a passage. I have to read the passage to them, and if you want to read the passage, you have to be breaking down every sentences, every word to the children. First of all, the way I started the class was not interesting. It was boring. I was not engaging the children. I was not buying into their person. I was not engaging. I was not endearing to them, right? So it was now looking so awkward to those children, because that's not what they are used to. And then I now want to introduce the topic. I just went straight. So I was not getting the response I needed. And at that moment, the head of the school came in, and they jumped at him. They embraced him, and they said, "Oh, children, settle down." And he now went to the back of the class to go and sit down. I was shivering. I was fidgeting. I was shivering. My emotions were everywhere. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to comport myself, because I know that I don't know what I want to do. Now I'm being watched by the owner of the school. Imagine. So my emotions were everywhere. I was stuttering. I was losing my words. Man, that day, only God can tell what was going through my mind that day. So let me gist you how the day went. At that moment went. I messed up big time, and you need to learn from it, So the story, the passage I want to read to the children, it is a story of a missionary that goes to the village to go and proclaim the gospel of Christianity or something like that. So there are words like missionary, king, queen, village, and those are the words that you need to break down to the children so that they can understand and comprehend the passage. So I needed to explain who a missionary is, who a queen is, who a king is. Because they were children, right? And I was looking for words. As I was looking for words, the man was looking at me at the back like this. Hey, what is this? I was looking for words, and I was not looking directly at the man, but I can see his gesticulation. I can see what is happening at the back, but I didn't look at him. But I was facing the children. I knew that is the end. Oh my God. So I was looking for words to explain the missionary. I was looking for words to explain the queen and the king. In the village there was a queen and a king, and the missionary has to go to the queen to go and explain what they have come to do. That kind of thing. That's what I said. I said I wanted to explain who a queen is and who a king is. Guess what I said, guys? I said a queen is the daughter of a king. Oh my God. Immediately I said a queen is the daughter of a king. The man said, yeah. I mean, from the back. Around outside to go and call the teacher in the next class to me. Like, Mrs. Something, please come and help me. Come and help me. There is a chaos happening here. Come and help me explain to them who a queen and a king is, So that teacher came around and took the textbook from me and explained to the children, that's that thing, that's that word. And she explained to the children that this is what is happening in the passage and all that. And she went back. I have to continue again to do another explanation. I think I messed up again. He went, the owner of the school, he went to the teacher again. Please come and help me. Come. And the teacher came again. In a nutshell, it was a messed up day. Why? Because I was yearning for a growth that I didn't plan or prepared for. And I see this a lot among young graduates in today, when I do my interview and all that. I see the preparation to work, but they don't have what it takes to do the job. They want to get a job, they want to earn, but they don't have value to offer. They don't have the skills that it requires to do the job, but they want to earn. And when I see them, it reminds me of where I was coming from, that I have once been in that space. It is easier for us to say we want to earn more, we want to grow in our career, but the real deal that we need to put in place to grow and to do the job, we don't focus on it. We just leave it to chances. We leave it to anyhow, and definitely it will backfire. Guess what happened in that school? I was demoted. Yes, before. What were you expecting? I was demoted. Demotion comes with salary slash. They wrote me a letter that I can't be a class teacher. I either take assistant class teacher with this salary, or I resigned, and I don't have where I want to go to. I don't have any other job. Do you get? I have to accept. Imagine the kind of shame. You being a class teacher, you were employed as a class teacher, but you were later demoted to be an assistant class teacher, and then with salary slash, and you're still going to be in that school. So people already know that this person is not who she is. I learned my lesson in a hard way. Eventually, I was asked to resign from the school. I was asked to resign because it's not jiving, it's not aligning. So I had to leave, and I learned my lesson. And what did that teach me? I realized that it is okay to want to grow, right? To want to earn more. But what you should be asking yourself is, what do you have to offer to earn that more? What are you bringing to the table? Do you see yourself pulling your weight for that new role? Or maybe you have an idea about the role, but you have not experienced, or you don't have experience that is required for that role, but you built yourself. You learn some skills, you prepare your mindset, you improve on yourself to fit into that role. That's one thing. But what is not good is you are aspiring to perspire. You are aspiring to improve, to get a new a senior level role, and then you have not done the homework. You have not done the work to get you to perform on that job. You know that this job you are applying for, you don't have the capacity, you don't have the technical skills, you don't have the competence to own that role, but you are telling yourself, we go run now, anyhow we will do it. It will surely backfire, like it did for me. I was not even processing it, and it happens to a lot of young graduates, even some experienced professionals. It happens to them that they just want to increase their earnings, they want to grow in their career, but they have not done their homework. They have not done what it requires to own that next role. They don't even know the value they bring. They don't even know what it requires to start planning for that role, to start saying, oh, when I get on this job, I'm going to do A, B, C, and that's how I learned my lesson. Guys, don't be like me, don't be like me. I learned my lesson in the hard way. So that's my story of how I was demoted on the job that I didn't plan for. Okay, I hope you have learned my lesson. Thank you. Please share this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.